Singh sir, good evening. Sir, good afternoon, good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, good evening.
Good evening, madam.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Singh sir. Hello. Singh sir.
Singh sir, but he's not.
Okay, sir. Okay, ma'am.
சொல்லுங்க
சார் யூடியூப்ல கொடுத்துருக்கு. முடிஞ்சதுக்கு அப்புறம் ஸ்ட்ரீம் ஸ்டாப் பண்ணிருங்க. சரியா?
எப்படி ஸ்டாப் பண்ணணும்? நீங்க ஹோஸ்ட் கொடுத்தா தான் ஸ்டாப் பண்ண முடியும் இல்லையா?
ஆமா, அந்த மேல வரும் அந்த ஸ்டாப் லைவ் ஸ்ட்ரீமிங் அந்த ஆப்ஷன் வரும்.
ஓகே.
ஹோஸ்டோட ஹலோ.
எஸ். எஸ் சார்.
சார்
சொல்லுங்க
சார். யூடியூப்ல கொடுத்துருக்கு. முடிஞ்சதுக்கு அப்புறம் ஸ்ட்ரீம் ஸ்டாப் பண்ணிருங்க. சரியா?
எப்படி ஸ்டாப் பண்ணணும்? நீங்க ஹோஸ்ட் கொடுத்தா தான் ஸ்டாப் பண்ண முடியும் இல்லையா?
ஆமா, அந்த மேல வரும் அந்த ஸ்டாப் லைவ் ஸ்ட்ரீமிங் அந்த ஆப்ஷன் வரும்.
ஓகே.
ஹோஸ்டோட ஹலோ.
எஸ் எஸ் சொல்லுங்க, நான் லைன்ல தான் இருக்கேன். Samsu sir is there? Sir? Madam, can you hear me?
Yes sir.
Samsu sir இன்னும் வரலையா?
ஆமா வரலன்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
ஓகே ஓகே, நான் கூப்பிடுறேன். Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Dr. Jason. Good evening, Nandakumar sir.
Good evening, sir. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
Madam. Good evening, madam.
Good evening.
Good evening, Nandakumar sir.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Vijay sir. Good evening.
Vijayakant sir, good evening.
Dr. Jason, madam has joined. Madam.
Yes.
Yes. Sir.
Sir, can we start, sir?
Madam, Starlight madam has joined.
Yes,
Madam.
Yes, madam. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, madam. Dr. Jason, you can give co-host to madam, Starlight madam.
Yes, could already given, sir.
Okay. We'll start now.
Yes, ma'am. Can you please start?
Dr. Jason?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can record it and we can start.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sure.
Sir. Sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, எல்லாம் மியூட் பண்ணுங்க சார். நிறைய டிஸ்டர்பன்ஸ் இருக்கு.
Okay. So mute all கொடுத்தறலாம்.
Whoever wants, they can unmute. We should start, sir.
Yes, sir. We can start. Madam?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. We can start.
Yeah. Yeah, good afternoon to one and all. Thank you for joining. I invite all of you, the resource person, the faculty members, and dear students from many colleges and universities. Thank you for joining for this national webinar on recent advancement for chemistry teachers. The teaching and learning process is taking a great paradigm shift because of online teaching methodology, and we teachers are learning a lot. And I believe this a national webinar on recent advancement for chemistry teachers will be a great learning thing for all of us. To start this meeting, I invite all of you to join me with the prayer. Let us pray. Father God, we thank you for this time that you've given to us. Thank you, Lord, for helping Department of Applied Chemistry to have a program like this, national webinar on recent advancement for chemistry teachers. Lord, we want to thank you for the resource person, Dr. Starlet Vimalan. Thank you for bringing her amongst us, oh Father God, and we commit this entire meeting at your precious feet. We need your guidance. We need your grace and help in all the technology related things to be with the resource person and help us to learn, oh Father God, in this 1 hour program. Let it be useful for all of us. We commit the entire program from the starting to the end for your guidance and your help. In Jesus' precious name, we thank and pray. Amen. Now I invite Mr. Jerome Isaac, research scholar, to give a song for us.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, all. Respected faculties and all my dear friends, let's all sing the Karunya anthem together. All praise and glory to our merciful King. Majesty, greatness, we youth must sing. All praise and glory to our merciful King. Majesty, greatness, we youth must sing. Soldiers of God and guardians of truth, so say the prophets about us youth. All praise and glory to our merciful King. Majesty, greatness, we youth must sing. 1 in a million, we are His choice. Let us sing praises and let us rejoice. 1 in a million, we are His choice. Let us sing praises and let us rejoice. Love it surpasses motherly love. His merciful arms protects from above. All praise and glory to our merciful King. Majesty, greatness, we youth must sing. Learning inspires humility, good nature, kindness and modesty. Learning inspires humility, good nature, kindness and modesty. Evil and sins to chase away will be our duty, for this we pray. All praise and glory to merciful King. Majesty, greatness, we youth must sing. Soldiers of God, let's rise and fight to vanish gloom and darkness of night. Soldiers of God, let's rise and fight to vanish gloom and darkness of night. Day and night, let our knowledge increase at the feet of the merciful one without cease. All praise and glory to merciful King. Majesty, greatness, we youth must sing. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerome, for such a beautiful song. This is our Karunya University anthem. Thank you. Now I welcome our head of the department, Professor Dr. A. Samson Nisraj, to give the welcome address.
Thank you very much, madam. Good evening, all of you. On behalf of the Department of Applied Chemistry, I welcome all the participants, especially the chemistry faculty members, UG and PG students of chemistry, research scholars, and administrators of schools and colleges for attending this webinar. I would like to welcome our respected Dean, Dr. C. Joseph Kennedy, for attending this event. Also, I would like to welcome Dr. J. Starlet Imala Madam, Assistant Professor, LRG Government Arts College for Women, Tirupur, for her presence to deliver her lecture in this national webinar. I contacted Madam last week regarding this webinar. Immediately, Madam accepted my request, and he's here now online to deliver her lecture in this national webinar. Thank you very much, Madam. As you are aware, chemistry is an important subject among all other subjects because which can contribute more to different fields, for example, engineering, technology, medicine, agriculture, etc. I can be able to say that the economy of any country will depend on chemical industries. Their report says that the Indian chemical industry is the third largest producer in Asia and contributes 5% of the country's GDP, gross domestic product. Another report says about UK, it says that chemistry-reliant industries contributed 258 billion value added to the UK economy, which is equivalent to about 21% of UK GDP. That's why for any country, the development of chemical industries is very important because it can contribute in the enhancement of country's GDP well. Who will develop technologies in chemical industries? The students who train by us in the schools, colleges, universities. Hence, we need to be proud. We need to be proud about our profession as chemistry teachers. I would like to tell something about my school days. I cannot forget my chemistry teacher who taught me +1 and +2. His name is Mr. Felix. Because of his chemistry teaching methodology, I got an interest to pursue my career in chemistry. Now I am happy that I am also a teacher in chemistry university. To encourage the faculty members who teach chemistry, we thought of organizing a conference or a seminar at a university campus. Because of the existing pandemic situation, we organized this event through this Zoom platform. I hope this national webinar will help you to understand the recent technologies in chemistry, new teaching methodologies in chemistry, etc. Because of this national webinar, you can be able to understand all the basic concepts as well as the advanced concepts in chemistry. We as chemistry teachers work together in transferring the knowledge of chemistry to this 5G generation. I can say because it's an advanced generation, technology-enabled generation, so that the technology development in the country will grow enormously. In turn, the economy of the country will also grow. I would like to thank the conveners, Dr. B. Jabasi, Associate Professor of our department, and Dr. K. Parameswari Madam, Associate Professor, for arranging this wonderful event today through the online platform. I hope that the participation of all the members would help to update the knowledge in the field of chemistry. I would also like to compliment the faculty members of our department, the research scholars, the non-teaching staff members, and also others for their help in organizing this event. I welcome each and every one of you for attending this event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Dr. R. Nandakumar, Associate Professor, to give a brief presentation about the department.
Thank you, madam. Hope the slides are visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and sometimes good night across the globe. I have seen participants from Philippines also here. So that's what I'm telling all these things. Nurture the nature for the better future. June 5, all of you wish a World Environmental Day. Thank you for the opportunity provided. I'm just going to present the brief profile of the Department of Applied Chemistry. So we offer BSc Honors Chemistry, BSc Forensic Science, MSc Chemistry, MSc Forensic Science, both PhD full-time and part-time in chemistry as well as forensic science. So the Department of Applied Chemistry, the challenge of global change, chemistry for tomorrow's world. We work on that line under the tagline of explore the mystery of molecules and materials as our trust area of Karunya Institute of Technology Sciences comes under healthcare, food, water, and energy. To enlighten and enthuse the students academically, ethically, and spiritually so that they are empowered to tackle societal challenges is our vision. And our mission is to serve humanity by attaining high levels of academic excellence, professional competence, and exemplary values to find solutions to human problems. So this brief presentation goes like that, goes like this: academic programs, faculty profile, research publication, followed by funded research projects, patents published, students, scholars' achievement, and finally the labs and the instruments which are there in our department. So as I said earlier, the academic programs we offer: 2-year MSc Chemistry, 2-year MSc Forensic Science, 3-year BSc Forensic Science, 3-year BSc Honors Chemistry, as well as both full-time and part-time PhD Chemistry and then Forensic Science. Besides, we cater to other programs like BTech and MTech, different chemistry-oriented papers and some elective papers, and then to the arts and science programs, other arts and science programs, different agricultural and horticultural programs, and as well as the 5-year integrated MSc Nanoscience and Nanotechnology programs. So coming to the credit distribution of BSc Honors Chemistry, the total credits offered is 150. Among that, 84 for the program core and 8 each for the ability enhancement compulsory, skill enhancement electives and project work. Besides, 24 for generic electives and discipline-specific electives is 18. So the highlights of the program includes the in-house project, industry internship. Every semester we have a laboratory, and then it is an industry-relevant curriculum, highly qualified faculty, good research ambience. We have placements and higher studies, wider choice of electives, hands-on training on the modern instruments, so on and so forth. The credit distribution for BSc Forensic Science leads to 140. The split up is given here: departmental core 83, electives 21, projects 12, and general core 20, and so on. And all the courses comes under the choice-based credit system, and they are technology-related curriculum wherein we have crime investigation techniques, forensic toxicology, crime scene investigation, forensic anthropology and odontology, accident investigation, like that, various latest courses which involves the technology as well. So this is the credit distribution for both MSc Chemistry and MSc Forensic Science, which are total credits is 93. We have in-house projects as well as internships, and it also comes under the choice-based credit system. And the unique feature of our department is we give 2 labs. One is called the Modern Instrumentation Lab with industries like Pelican Biotech, and the other one is Chemistry in Everyday Life Lab with industry collaboration like Pelican Biotech, Agilent Technology, Jasco, Bruker, etc. So in the Modern Instrumentation Lab, students will be having the hands-on instrument training on the modern instruments, which includes NMR, IR, HPLC, GC, XRD, SIM, electrochemical workstation, UV, PL, etc. And in Chemistry in Everyday Life Lab, the students will be preparing soap, candles, mouthwash, tooth powder, paint bomb, phenol, etc. as training to become an entrepreneur in future. And this is the brief profile of the faculty and staff. We are 16 professors altogether, 3 professors, 4 associate, and 9 assistant professors. All are doctorates, which are supported by technical staff, 3 technical staffs. So the faculty achievements, 6 of the faculty have cleared CSIR NET, 5 of them have cleared GATE, and 7 of them have rich postdoctoral experience across the globe. 2 of them have obtained UGC Research Award, and so far we have published 10 patents from our Department of Applied Chemistry. So these are all the faculties who have got the rich postdoctoral experience across the globe, from University of Toronto and University of Calgary, Texas A&M University, Catholic University, Belgium, University di Torino, Italy, and Weizmann Institute, Czech Academy of Sciences, Czech Republic, and Nanyang Technological University from Singapore, and Pohang University of Science and Technology, as well as Eva Women's University from South Korea. These are the faculty research expertise. Starts from biofuels and nanomaterials, synthetic organic and medicinal chemistry, forensic toxicology and analytical chemistry, electrochemistry and fuel cells, supramolecular chemistry, and inorganic and coordination chemistry. These are all the broad research areas where our 16 professors are working for their research. And these are the publication chart, which shows a decade-old department, which have 412 publications, out of which 360 are Scopus indexed, and an average 40 publications per year, and an highest impact factor of 14.695 from Journal of the American Chemical Society. We have nearly 35 ACS publications and more than 30 RSC publications from our department. This chart shows the funded research projects. So far, we have obtained grant to the tune of around 8 crores, precisely speaking, 774.08 lakhs from different funding agencies, almost 10 different agencies, from DST, UGC, CPRI, BRNS, SERB, DBT, etc., for different technology development program, extramural research, young scientist scheme, water technology initiative, central power research initiative, like that. For startup grant, totally 774.08 lakhs. Among that, 668.4 lakhs projects have been completed, and 105.68 lakhs projects is ongoing from BRNS, Department of Atomic Energy, and SERB and Technology Development Program from DST. So these are some of the completed funded projects, 25 projects. And also for conducting conference, we have obtained fund from BRNS, DAE, DST, SERB, Indian Academy of Sciences, Indian Institute of Sciences, and National Academy of Sciences, nearly 3.2 lakhs. And these are all the major outcomes which we have obtained from these projects. 12 major instruments have been purchased, 14 minor instruments. We have conducted a science academics lecture workshop. We have conducted industry academia workshop, hands-on training for students, for our students as well as the students nearby. And we have constructed 2 new research labs. 12 JRF and 20 project assistants have been trained, and almost nearly 275 research publications have come out of it. Of course, 3 patents have been published from these projects. So these are some of the Indian patents filed and published by our professors, among which 1 patent, a method for decolorization of dyeing wastewater by electrocoagulation using titanium dioxide coated aluminum electrode, by Dr. Parameshwari Arun, Associate Professor, has been granted very recently. Further Indian patents filed and published. And then at Department of Applied Chemistry in Karunya University, we have interdisciplinary projects in terms of projects, national, international research publications, chemical analysis, training and lectures, instrumentations for knowledge transfers with biotechnology, nanosciences, physics, EEE, Water Institute, mathematics, civil, robotics, as well as computer science, etc. Coming to our proud alumni, these are all our scholars. They are distributed actually across the globe for their postdoctoral, as well as one of our MSc student. He has elevated up to an assistant professor, Dr. Sheikh Gus Pereira at Kyaming University, Republic of Korea. And we have student Dr. G. Svikesh, who is in Abu Dhabi, Dubai, and then Dr. Suresh, who have recently landed up in Zagreb, Croatia. And we have Nagarajan, Sivarajan, and Dr. Ravichandran, Republic of Korea, and Jnana Prakasham in Chile. And then we have Govindan in Korea, and Velmurugan in China, and Dr. Chidambaram in Israel. These are all the significant achievements of students and scholars. Our students have got a Rajiv Gandhi Fellowship. 2 of them have obtained CSIR Senior Research Fellowship, and 2 of them have cleared CSIR National Eligibility Test. And 3 of them have obtained UGC Postgraduate Indira Gandhi Scholarship for Single Girl Child, and 1 UGC Merit Scholarship. 2 of the students have obtained Tamil Nadu State Council of Science and Technology Best Student Project Award. 2 of them have obtained Silver Jubilee Fellowship, and 18 of them have obtained postdoctoral fellowship, and 4 of them have got our own Indian National Postdoctoral Fellowship. And more than 3 lakhs funding has been provided by our own university as seed money. And our students have won more than 60 oral and poster awards. And so far, for the decade period, we have 31 students have been awarded with PhD degree. We have a unique program which is called as the International Association for Exchange of Students for Technical Expertise, which is called as IASTE. In this unique program, students from abroad come over to our portals and work for a period of 6 months to 1 year. And our students go to different countries. In that, we have received the students from Germany, Tunisia, etc. And our students have visited Portugal and Ghana in earlier days. And these are some of the faculty we have contributed to the edited books. And our faculty members are there in many editorial boards in many journals. And they are in many professional associations, which includes American Chemical Society, Material Research Society of India, Indian Council of Chems, etc. So we have conducted several conferences. The highlight of the conference is the one we have conducted in February 2014. It is the National Conference on Innovations in Chemistry, Health and Energy, funded by SERB and BRNS, followed by Recent Advances in Chemical Sciences in 2015, funded by Indian Academy of Sciences, Indian National Science Academy, and the National Academy of Sciences. And very recently, last year, before the lockdown period, we organized an first international conference on frontiers in chemical sciences. Several professors across the globe visited our portals and gave their current research activities, which is sponsored by SERB India and besides other companies. So this is a glimpse of photos from that conference, which took place in our portals in our department. So we have academic interactions with national institutes such as SICRI, JSS, Bharatiya University, Periyar, etc. And we have international interactions, academic interactions with Technion University, Pohang University, NEUS, CNRS, Boha University, University of Calgary, etc. We have industry interactions with Bruker, Neoscience, Pelican, Agilent, Synthite, Dr. Reddy's, Biocon, etc. Several of our students are placed in these leading industries. The students' activities, every 6 months, we used to publish an internal magazine called as ChemLight, wherein all the performance by the students and the faculty members are collectively done in the magazine ChemLight. And we go for industrial visit, take the students. This is one among that photo, isotope hydrology division. And students, when they prepare these oil soap in the lab, we invite the neighboring villages people to come over here and we train them to prepare all those things. And this is one among the paper cuttings from that. And our students also go to the villages to train them how to prepare all those things. So that they can do something, they can start a small unit of preparing all those things. Coming to the infrastructure and learning resources, this is our newly constructed research lab, and this is the PG lab and the UG lab located in our department. And we have a gas chromatograph, IR spectrophotometer, UV visible spectrophotometer, HPLC, biodiesel ransomment, electrospinning unit, electrochemical workstation, spectrofluorometer, HPLC bus, besides NMR as major instrument. And apart from that, our center has AFM, SEM, and XRD for further analysis. These are all some of the minor equipments, muffle furnace, rotav operator, flash chromatography, etc. Thank you for this opportunity. And this is www.karnia.edu. This is our website. And we can get into the admissions. You will be having a sheet open like this called as expression of interest. If you are interested in joining any of the course, you can just fill in the details. We will get you back. So once again, from the Department of Chemistry, we offer BSc Forensic Science and BSc Honors Chemistry, MSc Forensic Science and MSc Chemistry, PhD Chemistry and PhD Forensic Science, both full-time and part-time. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity provided.
Thank you, Dr. Nandakumar, for a wonderful presentation about the department and the facilities available in the Department of Applied Chemistry. Thank you once again. Now, I invite Dr. N. Anandi, Assistant Professor, to introduce the speaker.
Thank you, Madam. Good evening, everyone. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce the guest speaker of this webinar, Dr. J. Starlet Vimala. Madam has completed PhD in chemistry. She is also holding an additional PG degree in English literature. Madam has 28 years of teaching experience, out of which 16 years at Engineering College and 12 years at Government Arts College. Currently, Madam is serving as Assistant Professor in the Department of Chemistry at LRG Government Arts College for Women, Tirupur. And Madam has contributed for the welfare of students in various levels, which include coordinating the upgradation of department as PG and Research Department in her institution. Madam has played the role as placement officer and helped many students to get placed in corporate companies. She has also played the role as in charge of entrepreneur development cell and also as in charge for soft skill training. Madam has contributed in coordinating industrial visits for the benefits of the students, and also she played the role as nodal officer. Madam, it's our great pleasure to have you in our midst in this webinar on recent advancements for chemistry teachers. Thank you for accepting our invitation and for your valuable time. Hope we will have a fruitful session ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now it's a time of our resource person, Dr. Star.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, Madam Anandi. Are you able to hear? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Yeah. Let me at the outset thank the organizers for having given me this opportunity to be a part of this national webinar. Thank you, organizers. And I would also like to appreciate while Dr. Nandakumar was talking about the credentials of your department. I was totally, wonderstruck at the achievements, the enormous achievements that you have made. So I would like to appreciate each and every one of you as a team who have taken your department to this great level. A big round of applause to the entire team headed by Dr. Sampson. And I would also like to thank the coordinators of this national webinar. Thank you so much for having given me this opportunity to be a part of this program. Thank you, sir. And thank you, Anandi ma'am, for the nice introduction given about me. Thank you so much. So now when sir asked me to proceed with this program, be a part of this program, like I was not knowing what I'm supposed to talk in this program, but sir said he would be giving me a list of topics on which I will have to highlight those topics. Now, when I went through the topics, I found that most of the topics are little general and some of them were technical also. Now, I think this is a heterogeneous group which comprises of academic faculty members and also non-academicians. And also I understand that there are also few students and also research scholars. Now, my role will be, I would just be sharing some of my experiences, my teaching experiences from my past. So let me take you to my days. Now, when I entered into the teaching profession, when I was interacting with my students, many of them said, how is it you have done your doctorate in chemistry? Because chemistry is such a mysterious subject. It is very difficult for us to understand. We are not able to cope up with the chemistry at the school level or at the undergraduation level. So it is, very, very challenging to take it up to the post-graduation level or up to the doctorate level. So I understood that this sort of fear that is got instilled in the young minds is because of probably, the failure among the teachers who have taught the chemistry topic. So now I would like to share some of my experiences in the past. So let me share my screen and continue with my presentation.
Yes, ma'am, your screen is visible.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So this is the college from which I come, and this is where I have got associated as assistant professor for the past 12 years, and this is the 13th year. And I'm happy that I am with the rural students, and I'm contributing a lot to the development of the rural women folk there, and I'm also convinced that I'm a chemistry teacher. So first and foremost, what the main apprehension as a chemistry teacher is that why the students fear this chemistry, why they find that this subject is mysterious. The reason being that all of them in today's world, we find that the students are very highly active. They are not passive listeners. They are very, very active. So as such, the attitude among the students is that they are less of listener and more of a doer. And also we find that they have the technological details, know-how at their palm, and so they are all well informed about each and every aspect. So what is our role here? Our role here is to make the subject more interesting and take it to them in a more palatable form. So this subject should not be, taken in a very, very dry manner, full of equations and dry concepts where the students are not able to assimilate any of the, hard concepts. So how to take this topic to them in a better manner or in a, more palatable form. So the time has changed now, but our teaching methodology has not changed. So what are we supposed to do? How we have to change our teaching methodology? Now, when we have a group of more than say 30 or 40 students, what are we supposed to do? Now, what we can do is that in such a big group, what we can do is we can split the students in groups and let those groups be heterogeneous with fast learner and slow learner merged together, and then give them bigger topics and split the bigger topics into smaller subtopics, and then allot 10 minutes to each student for discussion, each group for discussion. So this group will have discussion about a particular topic, and those subtopics will be divided among various groups. Now, after the discussion is over, they will have to reassemble in the classroom and they will have to make their presentation. And we will also have to encourage by saying that each group which has maximum number of participants will be rewarded suitably, so that normally what we find is in a classroom, there are only the fast learners who interact in the classroom session, and the slow learners or the backbenchers, they never interact in the class. They just idle away, and they are not ready to cope up with the speed of the session, and they are not willing to accept the concepts that are delivered in the class. Probably their IQ level is at a lesser level. So what we as teachers will have to do is we will have to bring out their inhibitions, which is preventing them from participating in the class, by encouraging them to participate in such small group discussions, so that they can have small pep talks among their team members, come out with their ideas without any hesitation, whether it is right or wrong. They can voice out their opinion about that topic that is being given to them for discussion. And at the end of the discussion, when they are asked to make their presentations, each one of the group, that is each member of the group, will have to say at least a few points, what they have discussed or what they have understood from the topic. So by doing this, you can involve each and every student in your class to participate in your group discussion. And by so doing, what we can do is we can involve both the active and the slow learners in the classroom discussion. And this will also build confidence among the students, and also it will establish a team spirit and enable them to work as a team. And it will also improve their language skill, and also they will be able to gain better knowledge about that particular topic which was given for discussion. And they will not have any hesitation towards asking questions, and there will also be an inquisitiveness to know more, a thirst to know more. So these by doing these activities, group activities, especially at least for some abstract topics which you feel that you cannot deliver it to them in an interesting way. Say for example, when you're going to give a lecture for 1 hour, I'm sure that the first 10 minutes the students will have a curiosity to know what the teacher teacher is going to teach us, what the teacher is going to tell about this topic. But after a few minutes, you will find that only the curious people or the inquisitive ones will participate and they will interact. But the rest of the class, they will be on their own. Either they will be physically present and mentally absent, or both. So what we have to do is, in order to encourage learning and in order to induce an interest in the topic, this is what we can start with among the students. And thereafter, you can also add on to this, you can have some small quizzes which can be conducted, and you can also ask them to participate in such quizzes so that they can understand the topic in a better manner, and the teacher's job is reduced, the burden is much reduced. So now the cons for this objective is, you find the of this activity is found to be 0. You're not going to lose anything out of this module or this methodology. Now, when we talk about the experimental learning, why experimental learning is necessary? Now, as far as chemistry is concerned, this is a subject where you have to give lot of experimental evidence, experimental proof in order to make the student understand the concept and have a deeper sense of learning, and also kindle an interest in them to know more or to develop a research aptitude in them. So for this, whatever topic you're discussing, if you're going to give some principle about that topic, then you will have to give some experimental evidence. The earlier days, it was the learning was done by doing, but now the learning is by doing. So in chemistry, experiments are very much essential only when they are made to work on the experiments. And these experiments should not be simply result oriented. They should be made to analyze. They should be made to understand process, and they should also be asked to reason out why such a thing is happening. So this will encourage the participation of the students. See, for example, if you want to deliver certain experimental detail, like in your class itself, you can show some demonstrations like this, where you can these are small simple examples which I've given here, because I understand that there are some students also in this crowd. I thought this will be easy for them to assimilate. So this is what you can do. So this will create an interest among the students to know more. And now, say for example, if I'm going to take, if as a teacher, if I'm going to talk to them about air pollution. Now, if I start with a theory about air pollution, I want to discuss about Cottrell's electrostatic precipitator, which is going to control air pollution. I will be giving the theoretical aspect like this. I will be, giving a small write-up about the Cottrell's electrostatic precipitator, its working principle, and perhaps maybe I can add on with a chart, or with a blackboard and chalk. I can draw this diagram and I can explain to them how a Cottrell precipitator is working to control the air pollution. Instead, what I can do is I can give this module as a project, and I can group some of the students and I can ask them to work on this Cottrell's electrostatic precipitator, and I can ask them to design a miniature model in the laboratory, and I can help them work on this. Having a small assembly like this, where you have two electrodes, metal plates, which are connected to an external circuit, and then I have a small incense stick which is providing smoke, which is simulating the smoke that is coming out of the industry. And when I apply voltage, the plates get charged, and the carbon particles, they get ionized and they get deposited on the electrodes, that is the metal plates, and then you will have the smoke that is coming out without carbon particles. It will be white color smoke. So this is exactly what is happening in the Cottrell's electrostatic precipitator, which is installed in the chimneys in industries. So this will help control the air pollution. So when I explain, instead of explaining like this, what I have done earlier, if I make them work on a project or on a mini model like this, and I ask them to work on the working of the Cottrell's electrostatic precipitator, I assure you all that the understanding will be more deeper and they will never forget this concept. So this is one small example. Like this, there are very many examples. And today being the World Environment Day, I recall my days at another engineering college where, you know, under Anna University, we were asked to work on innovative project, and 10 marks were allotted to the students who would contribute for the innovative project. But what I found is, from my experience, I found that I had collected almost 60 to 70 projects from the students, and all of them were clean copy or downloaded material from the net. And they had made a beautiful spiral binding, excepting for the first page, nothing was creative or original. Everything was downloaded and ready-made, stitched and submitted for the sake of mark. So the student has not even taken pains to understand what he has submitted in his project proposal. When I asked him a few questions from that, the student hesitated to answer because they later confessed that it was a copy from the internet. So thereafter, what I did is I allotted this 10 mark for the student who was ready to submit a working model on any topic related to their subject, that is their chemistry, applied chemistry. From the book, they were asked to submit any working model relating to the topic of their interest. So later I found that one or two students came up with a model and they were asking me guidance, and I guided them to complete the working model. On seeing this, when I allotted mark for those students, I gave them 10 out of 10. I said, don't worry if the model is not on par with higher technological level. Don't worry about it. I appreciate you for the initiative that you have taken. So I wanted to congratulate the student in front of the class. So it was a teamwork. So when I congratulated some 3 or 4 team members who worked on this project and who submitted the working model, later I found that the entire class came up to me and they said, Madam, all of us want to rework on the innovative project that was given. They said, please allot topics. We will work on it and we will resubmit the working model. Give us some time. So I said, okay, done. And I allotted the required time. And during class hours, I used to help them work on the working model. And to my surprise, I found that there were almost 40 exhibits, which were wonderful and extraordinarily brilliant ideas based on what they have learned from the textbook. And also they took some engineering students' help also for technical details. And when I saw this, I spoke to my correspondent and he said, it is wonderful. He came and inspected the exhibits and he said, why not you have it as an exhibition and invite all the faculty members and all the students to come and visit this exhibit which is made by the student. And immediately that was arranged, and the student, the entire class student of 60 to 70, if I remember correct, everyone was honored with a book and a certificate on the World Environment Day. So they not only mark the 10 marks which they required for the Anna University requirement, but apart from that, they were also awarded the prize. So they were all so happy and they were so convinced. And when that paper, all the questions, which was asked for detailed answer, everybody got very good marks, and most of them scored almost, I think, 70 to 80% of them scored beyond 90% of the mark. The reason is that they had a deeper sense of understanding when they were asked to work on the working model, as I have shown here in this slide. So this is what we can encourage among our students. Make them participate rather than delivering lecture and syllabus, completing the syllabus, and we should not think that that is our job and that is done, and we should not be mark oriented. There are so many students who will not be able to get marks, who will not be able to reproduce the answers that they have memorized, but they will be very, very good in their technical know-how or in their skill. So there are very, very good students who are very, very skillful, even if they do not get the required academic marks. So it is we teachers who will have to find out who are such skillful students, hone their skills and shape them, and so that in future, as given in your topic, they can be very good researchers. So research is something which is an aptitude which has to be kindled in the young minds. It is not, like what you you memorize in your exam and score marks. So research is something which has to come from within, the thirst to know more and the drive towards achieving greater things and reaching greater heights. Okay, I think with this introduction about what we as chemistry teachers will have to do to our students, now I would move on to the topic regarding the research, chemical education research practices. What is that we have to do in the chemical? See, from what I have understood is that the thirst to know more, the research aptitude is declining among the young minds, especially where in my own college, where I have students up to undergraduation level. I thought the students will be deprived if they are not given postgraduate admission in our college. So we decided that we will have to fight it out and get postgraduation sanctioned to our college, and we took all efforts and we got the postgraduation in our college. But thereafter, in our research department, there is a dearth, a decline in the students getting enrolled. The reason being is there are several reasons. See, one thing is that, as Professor Nandakumar was showing a lot of, research activities in his department under Karunya University. One thing that, we have to accept is that at colleges, especially in government colleges, we are not having even the basic facilities to even think about research. Okay, now if I say that as as an excuse, what about the aptitude in the minds of the students? That is also, a lot more have to be done among the students, where, they should have an interest to go in for research, pursue their higher studies. These days, what happens is, it is not only the lack of facilities, but it is also the domestic stress and also the financial crisis which the students face. Many students are sole breadwinners. From what I have seen in our college background, there are so many students, they have the interest to learn, they have the interest to pursue their higher studies, but there are certain compelling situations which doesn't allow her to do so. That is because of the financial crisis which, she is made to face, because she is the sole breadwinner. After her college, she has to go for some very low profile jobs to get some money for her for her family needs. And also another aspect which I have to mention here is about the insecurity among the insecurity for the women folk in research institutes. We have to accept that, and we have to address all these issues as as researchers, as postdoctorate research professors. I would like to request you to address these issues where the students are not having the encouragement. They are not having the they are not really convinced about doing research. The reason is that first and foremost, they should have the passion. That passion is not there, because many of the researches that are taking place is that there is a guide who has worked on a particular area. Now what he has to do is he has to motivate the students to work on an area of his choice or of his interest, and offer guidance in that area. But quite often what happens is the professor or the guide is thrusting the area of research under to the young minds, and they are not knowing anything in that area, and at the same time they are not willing to go in for further literature survey or any such activity which is the basic requirement to pursue research. So this has to be driven among the young minds right from, I think, from the school level, and then from the undergraduation level. They will have to be asked to work on certain individual areas of their choice individually. Probably the teacher can be of some support. So by so doing, I think we can have exemplary performances from the students, because the students are so resourceful. But for these small issues which have to be addressed, I think we can get wonderful output from these young minds as future researchers, because a lot more is to be done. And also for this, we as chemistry teachers, we have to shoulder the responsibility and foster the the thought process. And even while teaching each and every concept, we have to encourage the students to ask questions, to make them interact in class, and encourage them to participate in our teaching learning process. Only then the objective will be fulfilled, the teaching learning process can take place. And with this, I think the module on teaching learning objective and the process, I think I will conclude, and I will go over to the next area, which is now the most demanding area of concern, where everybody is concerned about the lockdown and concerned about this pandemic, and everybody is so deeply distressed about this situation which is prevailing, the coronavirus, which has wreaked such a big havoc. So what is this SARS-CoV-2? Many of you would have heard enormous detail about this SARS-CoV-2 virus. Its incubation period is 1 to 27 days, and its recovery time is around 3 to 6 weeks. And the symptoms: fever, cough, myalgia, shortness of breath, sore throat, etc. So now when we talk about the SARS-CoV virus, we understand that it is very, very pathetic that we have lost many of our dear and near ones in this coronavirus, and we are so deeply concerned about when it is all going to be over and when everything is going to return to normalcy. Each one of us are chilled to nerves on seeing day in and day out the increased rate of deaths and uncontrollable spread of this virus. Now let us understand why this virus has come into play and what has happened. Now what we understand is that what this SARS-CoV-2 virus does: human cells need constant supply of oxygen for their survival, energy production, normal function. Now what we understand is many of the people who face deaths, the reason is because of hypoxia. Everybody says that lack of oxygen, insufficiency oxygen, and because of that, cell death. So the SARS-CoV-2 virus leads to hypoxia and respiratory distress. So this virus, what happens to this virus? When there is no oxygen, it will replicate many times. So this increase in there is an increase in lactate dehydrogenase, that is LDH, in COVID-19 patients. This LDH converts pyruvic acid to lactic acid during low oxygen environment, and this leads to multiple organ failure. This hypoxia increases intracellular calcium concentration in pulmonary arterial myocytes by triggering the mitochondrial reactive oxygen species. And this causes damage to macrobiomolecules like nucleic acids, proteins, lipids. This reactive oxygen species, which is a high energy free radical, what does it do? It damages the macrobiomolecules. So for the treatment of COVID-19 patients, what is needed? We have to give more of oxygen, anti-inflammatory drugs, and the calcium channel blockers. All these